Hello there, YouTube. So actually, someone asked me about my Twitch panels one time, and they wanted to know who designed them and who made them, so because they wanted them just like them. Well, I actually made them myself. I'm not a graphic designer or anything like that. Just everything is self-learned and taught. So the cool part about these panels that I like is it doesn't matter the screen resolution. It always looks neat. There's no external text, so it always orders them in a nice, neat manner. So that's kind of how the reason I did it the way I did it. So that's what they are. I'll show you how I made it. I'll show you how I made like the about me, and then how you can make another one based off of this template. That you'll make yourself a template. So the first thing you want to do is I use a program called Inkscape. You can download that from Inkscape. I'll put a link in the description below. So what we do is we get up Inkscape. Then we want to actually look at our layers. We're going to go over here, and where is the layer button? There's layers right here. View layers. All right, it was out anyway, right? So we got layers 1, right? So we're going to call this one panel. It's going to be the panel layer. Now we're just going to take our rectangle. We're going to just make a big rectangle. Boom, right? Doesn't really matter what size it is right now because we're going to resize it. All right. So what we're going to do is Twitch wants their panels being 320 by 320, but the small panels 320 by 100. So first thing you want to do on Inkscape is change this to pixels. Right. Then we're going to take this and say 320. Then we're going to put the height at 100. Now when I finish this, it's not going to be perfect because of you'll see what I mean when I do a stroke, and afterwards I'll put a little thing around it so it looks like the so you can see like there's like a stroke around it. It'll be a little bit bigger. I could like fine tune it, but it'll be fine the way it is. All right. So as you can see here, most of the time you're gonna have a square like this. So what I wanted was slightly rounded corners. I want a nice little round corner on there. So you can do one of two things. You can grab this little corner and drag it down, grab this little corner, drag it over. But what I prefer to do, I actually grab them equally. Just take these numbers, once again, they're pixels. I do 30 by 30. And if you do the two numbers together, it's going to be a pretty even rounding, I guess you'd say. All right. So then once that's done, right, what we're going to do is, so it happens to be very close to the color I want anyway, but if you want to design this around the colors of your logo. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up my logo. Here's the Mandy logo. I'm just going to use defaults. I don't know what a lot of the other things are, so we're just going to use the defaults. We're going to copy it here and paste it into here, right? And let's shrink this down. So we will selection tool, and then so one important thing is once we do the selection tool, we want to go up here and lock it, because otherwise we're going to have, if we do it like this, if you don't lock it, you're going to end up having that, right? And it's going to be weird shape. So you grab the corner, now it's going to lock it in, so it's the right shape and height and stuff like that. Shift ++, we'll zoom in. I like to view page grid. This helps afterwards with trying to line things up, for me anyway, because I'm not that great at it. All right. So what we're going to do now is we have our basic rectangle. It's the right height and width. It always resets it, right? So it's 321 by 101. It's no big deal. It's fine. That's a little bigger. All right. So what we want to do is put a stroke around it, right? I'm going to use the same color that's around here. So what we're going to go is up in our fill tool, right? Our paint tool. Which one is it? It is this one right here. If you click this, mine's already open. So you have, this one is the fill and stroke tool. So we're going to go to stroke. Now, we're going to take our actual down here and do a pick colors from image. And we're going to pick this color. Bam, right? Then we're going to go stroke style. All right, pixels once again. I did 4 because that's what I liked. I thought it looked nice. So there we have that, right? Now, the next thing we want to do is, if you noticed, there's a nice gradient in there, right? It's dark to light to dark, all right? So that's what we're going to do next, all right? We can actually close this. We don't need that open. All right, so we're going to use the gradient tool, and that is right here. All right, anything like that. There it is. All right, so now we drag it and drop like that. Boom. So we have dark to light, but we want to go dark to light to dark. So what we want to do, come in the middle, just double click, and we put another point, right? So we still have our dark to light, but we click this, and we're actually just going to select the color black. Same with this. This one, color black. Now we're going to take our color selection tool, and we're going to take the, I shouldn't do that, middle, right? And then I'm going to actually choose this blue right here. Bam. Cool. All right. So now I'm going to grab the edges. It's kind of dark. If you look, like, I don't want it that dark. So I'm going to take this and drag it out, right? And then take this and drag. I kind of want my like white right there. Take this and drag it out. And I'm going to bring this back, right? Good enough. That's what I want. All right, cool. All right, selection tool, boom. So now we have our panel. Our panel is all set. This is cool. This is exactly like, if you look at all our panels, they're all identical. So that's going to stay the same. Now we're going to make a new layer, and we're going to call it logo. All right, gonna add it above. Boom, there it is. Take our logo, right click, and we're going to say move to layer, to logo, move. Right. This just makes it easier to change things around. We're simply just going to stick this in here, right? Let's zoom in a little more. Look at our grid, and we can just move it around just to kind of make it look, hey, pretty good, right? Boom, there it is. All right, so the next things, so that's pretty close to what we have, right? We have our panel with our logo in it. Now we want to put some text in it, right? Now you have to figure out which kind of text you want. So I picked two. This is American Captain, and then I forget what the other one's called. I have them downloaded already. So you can go to like Google Fonts, figure out what you want, right? So to install, one thing I did learn is, so I have my two fonts here. To install them, you have to actually right-click them, and then don't just install for all users, right? Because if you don't do it for all users, it might not be picked up by the Inkscape program. Now that I have that, right, I have to shut it, Inkscape down, and restart it. So what we're going to do is we're going to say stop file. We're going to save as, right? It's going to be SVG, and we're going to call it. It says drawing, but we're going to call it about me. All right, and we're just going to save it to our desktop. You can put it wherever you want. All right, so that's done. We close it down. Now we're going to start up Inkscape. Actually, you know what? We can just run. We can actually just click this. It'll start the program up for us. All right, there we go. Now we're actually going to add some text to it. All right. So look at the image. We got our fonts. All right, we're going to do the title first. So we're going to select the text. Sorry about this. Select our text, and it's going to be the wrong size when you first do it. You're just going to go pow, right? So we're going to say about me. All right. Obviously not what we really want. So what we're going to do is highlight the whole thing. We're going to go in here. We're going to pick our font, and mine was American Captain, right? So we got that. We're going to drag it down here. Now, if you noticed, the font had had a gradient, and it also was stroked. Very similar to this, right? But our gradient goes from light to dark, and that's it, right? So let's do, first of all, let's do the stroke. We can do the stroke. So we select this, and then we stroke the paint. We turn the stroke on, right? It's black right now. We're going to select this, and then we're going to select that. And it's the color we want, right? So this is the color selection from an image. We selected one. Now we have the stroke we want, right? All right, so now we're going to take our gradient tool, and we're going to go right in the middle, drag it down to the bottom, right? Now colors look kind of reversed, right? So how I have it is it's pretty light, and then it's the same color on the bottom, right? So we're going to select this color, select our tool here. So I got the top one, I want this color, and then the bottom, I want this color, right? There you have it. All right, so now if we look at it, it might be a little darker here, but you could choose whichever gradients you want. Maybe we can go, should we want to do black? Go black? I don't like the black. The black is too black. All right, we'll stick with that. I like how I have it here. dark to light. It might look a little different too when we back out. So that's the about me. So that's the title. Cool. Now we want to add some context. Like, so this software engineer, dad, husband, an all-around nice guy. That's me. So we want to put that in there. Same deal. We're going to go and type it, right? So we're going to just type anywhere because we're going to move it around. We're going to have to move it around anyway, right? So we're going to be software. Oop. Actually, can I just change it right now? We're going to choose our font. Bam. Right? And then what was our, and then I was obviously gonna go a little bit lower, so like 14 for the size. All right, so now we're here, software, what did I say? Engineer, dad, husband, right? And all around nice guy, period, right? Oops, spell nice right. All right. So let's take this. We're going to move it up a little bit, right? Now, now you got to figure out the spacing, right? So I'm going to have these two kind of, I'm doing the wrong one. All right, right there. So we'll probably take about me and move it over. This is why we have the grid out, so that you can kind of line this stuff up together, right? Bam. Now we're going to go over here and right here. I'm going to hit enter. All right. Now you see how that's way, way down there? You see this double A up here? This is going to be your distance between the letters, right? So it's jumping a lot. So I'm going to do, that's one's too much. Let's do 0.5, right? A little too much still, right? Oh, you know what I made a mistake of? Once again, choose pixels, right? So working pixels is just easier. So 20, let's try 12. 12 is nice. All right, let's leave it right there, right? Now I'm going to choose, I want white so it's easy to read. And there you have it, right? Oops, sorry. There you have it, right there. And minus, 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 minus. And bottom of the corner, you can see 140%, 99% close enough, right? So that's what it's going to look like. All right, let's save our file. All right, so now we have, oh, I screwed up. So what we want to do is add layers, title, right? All right, then choose this. Move to layer title. Move. Then we're going to add another layer called content. And then we're going to select this. And we'll say move to layer content. Now you don't necessarily have to do this, but it just makes it easier that I like having things on different layers. It just makes it easier for me. All right, so we'll save that. And then we're going to go and actually export it. So right here is your export. Select that. Now, you want to export, you want to select the drawing, and that just highlights the drawing. Now, you notice it's gotten bigger. It's 327 by 104. That's because of the stroking. It's made it larger and longer, but it'll be all right when we end up doing it. It'll fit like Twitch will automatically shrink, and it's a SVG, so it actually will do fine. Now, you want to say export as about me in this channel. Right, we're going to do it in desktop, so save that. Now that's the file name. Then once you put export, and then we actually have our exported about me. So once you have that, then you actually come to your panel, edit, come down here, add a panel, add text or image, right? So here's our new one, add our image, choose a file, I can just drag it here, bam, right? And see how it's like, you want to kind of line it up a little bit, messed up, it's just a little messed up, but just do that. And say done. All right. Now we'll say submit. All right, cool. And then unedit the panel. Look at the bottom. There's our new about me. Very similar, right? Not identical, but similar because I did change some things around a little bit. All right. So now that's great. You got one about me, but now you want to make another one, right? Say you want to make something like this tips one, right? Go back in here, right? First thing we do is we select our logo. Let's delete our logo. Bam. We don't need that anymore, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go on Google, find an image you want, make sure it's free to use. Transparent background is definitely a plus, and you're going to actually open it, right? So we're going to open this up. Bag of cash. Once again, just use the defaults. All right. It opens it up in a new one. Click it, copy it, close this, paste it in here. All right. Now, once again, make sure it's locked, and we're going to shrink it. Right? Sorry. And drag it back over this way. All right. So now we're going to zoom in with Shift plus. All right. So now, so we're not going to be able to do things such as stroke. So we're going to select our edit the colors and gradients and all that other stuff here, right? Where is it in here? Oh, here it is right here. All right, fill color. If we wanted to put like a gradient in here, go like this and say stroke it down. And then we select this and we select a different color. It doesn't work. All right. So what we have to do first is select this, and then we want to actually trace bitmap. So you want to come down here to colors and remove background, right? Do live preview if you want, right? And just hit OK. All right, boom, done. Now take this, move it. Take this one, we're going to delete it. All right, so now this is the one you want to use. So we now have this. What we can do is go to stroke, color it, select this, and then we're going to stroke it with the same color. Boom, right? Go to our stroke style, millimeters. Nope, we want pixels. And we're going to do 1. That's a lot, but we're going to do 1. Enter. Bam. There we go. Nice. Looks much better, right? So we'll put it here. Still black, so it's not exactly what we want. And there's no right or wrong way of doing this. You just got to figure out how big, how small you want it to make it look good. All right? Go back to the gradient. Top to bottom. Bam. Right? There we go. So now let's select our colors on our gradient. So our color selection, we'll take the top one, select that, and then the bottom one, and we'll take this color. There you go. All right, so that's that. Then simply select your title, this, and then, I didn't actually want to, I'm sorry, I didn't want to move it. I want to select the title and say tips. And guess what? Look at that. I didn't even have to change any of the, I didn't add anything. It just automatically does the right gradient for you and everything, right? So same thing with down here, right? So now we want to say, for me, I put not, not, but greatly appreciated. Thank you. All right. So let's take it here and hit enter. Bam. Right. And I did mess this up a little. That's good enough though, right? So once again, we're going to say file save as, and we're going to say tips, right? Save it. Now export, and we'll call it tips. Save, right? So now it's going to be tips.png. We're going to hit export. And now if we look at our desktop, we should have, oh, it's probably up in the corner here. Oh, here's the other. So I made a couple about me. So we'll delete this old one. So this is the new one I made. And I think we put the wrong one in there, but that's okay. Oh, see, we messed it up. See this, tips? You know what I didn't do? If we go back in here, right? What I didn't do was select, it was selection. So it only selected this. Select drawing, right? Export. Make sure it's the right one. Tips. Save. Now export. So you got to make sure you select a drawing and not a selection. So there we go. That much better. Now, so we come in here, edit panels, right? Let's change it. Let's change this one to the right about me. Do that. Done. Right. Add another panel, text or image. We're going to select the tips. Desktop. Tips. Open. Same deal. So it's a little off right there. Hit done. Submit. Submit. Now we'll do our panel. Edit. Undo it. Right. Boom. There's our two panels. Right. These two now are identical. They're close to these ones, but you can see how the highlighting is off because I've done these on another computer. So these two now look very much alike. That's all it is to it, boys. And then you can make all your other panels by just changing the. It's easy enough to type in new words, put a new image in, and you're ready to go. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. Took me a few days to do this, but once I did it, I was able to bang out these pretty quick, and I think they look pretty snazzy in the window, no matter what size the window is. It just changes it. Mobile looks great on. Browser window, as many columns as you need. All right. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, then please hit that like button below. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and I'll do my best to answer it. If you'd like to see more content like this, then hit that subscribe button also. Or you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Manny Arcady.